Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the McGonagall Boxing Podcast. Let's get straight down to it, shall we? Post-fight, Brook, Terence Crawford, disappointing, wasn't it? Let's not get emotional or, overhyped about it, but it was disappointing. Big Brook fan. I think he's had a great career. Is it the end of the road? It's hard to see where it goes from here. I don't want to jump on that negative hype train that everyone does after a loss, but it was a bad loss. It was a bad stoppage. He got badly knocked out, didn't he? Really, I mean, that was a brilliant punch, a brilliant quick right counter punch from Terence Crawford. Literally come out of nowhere, but it's a telltale sign, isn't it? I mean, as you get older, you lose them reflexes. Would Kell Brook been caught with that 6 years ago, 7 years ago? It was a great punch, don't get me wrong, but debatable. The problem that Kell Brook has got, and he had this against Spence, and he had this against Golovkin, is when these elite fighters in their prime make adjustments, like Mayweather was able to do, like the great fights Canelo now does, Kell Brook doesn't know what to do. That was evident from round 8 against the Spence fight, where he was dominating early. It was evident in the Golovkin fight when Golovkin subtly learned how to close the distance after Brook again was dominating after the first 4 rounds. And after the first 2 rounds, which I gave Brook, a lot of people gave Brook, 2 of the 3 judges gave Brook, he didn't know what to do, did he? Credit Crawford. He's a smart fighter. He's a great fighter, and he's, for me, now on that display, the pound for pound number 1. Just devastating performance. Better than I thought he would be last night, no question. I thought he was on the slide. He's better than ever after that performance, but he made the adjustment. He started fighting orthodox. Brook was getting off that beautiful jab of his, wasn't it? It was marking Crawford up. You could see, around the top of the right eye, Crawford's marked up. He's uncomfortable. He didn't look happy. So what did he do at the end of round 2? He switched to southpaw stance, instantly threw Brook, who for some reason then stopped throwing the jab. And as soon as he stopped throwing the jab, Crawford was able to close the distance on him. It turned into a firefight, and Crawford, like I said he would do, started to walk Brook down. With the quicker hands that he's got, there was only ever going to be one winner up close in a firefight. The heat was turned on in round 3, and it was only a matter of time. I think Brook looked slower. His reflexes are clearly got slower. His punch resistance got a bit slower. He's still got boxing skills, but you can tell he's slowed down, and that's age and inactivity. But what was surprising is he tells everyone he's ready for a switch hitter. It's no big deal fighting a switch hitter. Well, it was, wasn't it? Because it threw him badly. Did he miss Dominic Ingle like I said he would? Probably. I think Ingle would have given him better tactics after, round 2 when he saw Crawford switch hit. He would have said to Brook, right, you need to adjust. There was no adjustment, and that proved to be his undoing. But you have to wonder, would Brook would have gone, would he have won that fight under Ingle? I don't think so at this stage. I think his reflexes and his speed had slowed, and it's certainly his footwork. But, he still had a great couple of rounds. The first 2 rounds, he relied on his boxing skills. And his punch variety, his jab's still there, just his speed slowed down, and obviously that punch resistance gone as well. But listen, it was a great performance from Crawford. Smart, intelligent and explosive, and I'll tell you what, when he gets a man hurt, he's utterly ruthless, isn't he, Crawford? He's one of the best finishers out there. Brook had no chance after he was he floored initially, and then 10 seconds later it's all over. So listen, credit Crawford. He's better than I thought he would be at this stage after a year out the ring. Sadly, Brook is worse than I thought he'd be. So it's a mixture of 2, but overall Brook can hold his head up. I think he's had a great career. It's a shame, I feel he took the wrong fight at the wrong time against Golovkin, that kind of ruined his career in many ways, because I feel at that time he was the best welterweight on the planet and in his absolute prime. And then to drop down in weight and go straight back against Spence, that wasn't a good move. I mean, I don't know if it's him or Hearn, but at least have a tune-up fight before taking on Spence to let you, get your weight back. Because they always say it's the hardest thing to go back down in weight, especially when you're fighting one of the elite fighters. So 2 bad fights back-to-back, and then obviously he's been stop-start of injuries and delays and trainer delays of the last 3 years. Inactivity's cost him, and age has finally got to him. I hope he has one last fight. I'd like him to go out with a bang. He's not going to win a world title anymore at welterweight. He's not going to win a world title at the light middleweight. He's just not good enough now. But obviously everyone's vying for this calm fight. It'll be great to see a payday for the two of them. They can go at it. They're both similar age. They're both on the decline. Let's end it once and for all. So there's no more banter in 10 years or 20 years time saying I could have done this, you could have done that. I think Brook wins that fight. I think although they're both on the decline, I think he's got more than Khan's got, and big payday for him. So let's do the Khan fight and let's go out in a blaze of glory for Brook and with Khan, to be fair. They both had great careers, but it's time to end it now, I think. Crawford, obviously he's the pound for pound king in my eyes now. I'd love to see him unify against the winner of Garcia and Spence. I think he beats either of them, and whether or not it would have been Spence post-accident, pre-accident, I think he beats Spence no matter what. He's still very sharp, very clinical, great switch hitter. His power's improving, and I think he's going to be there for another 2 years, to be honest with you. He doesn't seem to be declining. Credit Crawford. It's the super fight next to him, and I think he wins it. All right, guys, I'll be back soon. Another big night of boxing. All right, and I'll catch you real soon. Bye.